everyone to yet another full moon evening with us, and Susan Santon will be joining us in just a couple of minutes, just finding her computer and getting things organized there. What a beautiful day it was today, I have to say. It
Mhm,
was
mhm.
so beautiful, you know,
Yeah,
and it's kind of like just kind of saying, you know what? The nice weather's coming. It's going to be beautiful, like right shortly. Um,
yeah.
so I hope everyone got out there today. Renee may join at some point. She's going to try to join a little later if she can. Uh, there may be lots of discussion and lots of conversation tonight around our beautiful grandmother. I mean, even last night, so
Yeah, nice and
beautiful.
full, eh? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
And a beautiful orange color too.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Very nice. Yeah,
It just inspires you. Like it just makes you feel so good, just
yeah,
being in that essence of that beautiful light there,
yeah.
eh? Yeah.
You're like, there's my grandmother.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think we'll start with a little bit of an opening. Would you like to do an opening? Or would you like me to do the opening tonight?
Um, it's oh hey Sherry, how's it going?
Oh,
Oh
good.
my gosh,
Yeah.
there's beautiful Sherry.
Yeah, there she is.
Oh,
Mm.
Well,
Yeah, yeah, I could do the opening.
all right.
Yeah, okay. Do we do like a little smudge, or do we do a little before we do the opening at
Well,
all?
it's whatever you do because we're Haudenosaunee people, so
Okay.
we haven't done it to that's why I asked if you would like to do it this however you feel guided to. I'm sure those at home
Okay.
I have smudge right here. I
Okay.
can
Yeah.
join you if you like.
Yeah, that would be good.
All right, let
Yeah,
me
we
join
could
you.
do a
Yeah.
if anybody has any sage, or if they smudge with sweetgrass, whatever they prefer. That would be nice to open it up. I just received some nice prairie sage from a doge. It's a vaccine clinic.
So, for those of you at home
Mm.
as well, just join us, even if you have nothing available. We're sending the blessing to you.
Mhm.
So, don't feel that you're missing something just because you don't have sage or a smudge available. We're offering it to you this way as well.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Miigwech. Miigwech. Okay. Oh, bonjour, bonjour. Bonjour, nokomes. Miigwech for this beautiful, beautiful day. Bonjour, jamnedo. Shkak mokwe. Mishomis. Miigwech for this beautiful weather, this weather that's coming. Miigwech for this beautiful evening coming from that beautiful day. Chimigwech for us being able to be together in this way, to celebrate our beautiful Niba Gizis, to celebrate that beautiful Nokomis, that moon, that March moon. Chimigwech for the sharing that will happen and help us to be, to share in a kind and respectful way. Help us to connect with that grandmother so that she can bless us and take care of us and take care of our and balance our energies as women to help us in that way. Shimigwech for this beautiful time that we will spend together and with her. Chimigwech, Miigwech, 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 Miigwech.
Wow, powerful. Couldn't you just feel that? That energy, those words. So beautiful, so powerful, so fitting,
Yeah.
to the night that we are experiencing tonight. I just
Mhm.
want to advise everybody to be careful on those roads, but because for some reason tonight it has been absolutely crazy out there. And so I just
Mm.
want to um, ask everybody to have a little bit of caution. Sometimes grandma, she has to say, slow down, people. She has to
Mhm.
give us those lessons that enable us to reflect on whatever it is that we're dealing with. Hello,
We got
Vanessa.
some visitors.
We have lots of
Yay.
visitors
Hi,
tonight.
Susan.
Yeah.
Hi everyone. Hi everyone.
Hey.
Oh, yes. Well, so I think what we'll do is we'll just kind of go around and we'll just have everyone, spend a couple minutes reflecting on. I love stories. If you have
Me too.
beautiful stories about grandmother or whatever you feel called prophecy and a lot of interest in prophecy, that would be like amazing to hear, like all these different thoughts on that. So I maybe we'll start with Miss Sherry. Would you like to start?
Hello everyone. It's such a pleasure being here with all of you beautiful souls. And hi Susan. We've met in passing, but we haven't met formally in person. I was up north, and hi Heather and Gail, hi Grandma Gail. I was up north in your area almost, Heather, just up in Lake Manitowoc, and it was just so gorgeous up there, and the moon was just picture perfect last night as we laid out our tobacco and had our own little ceremony up there, me and my friend, and it was just absolutely wonderful. And being together in this room with all of you is just I'm just my heart is overflowing with gratitude and love for you ladies, but also our visitors too that have come to be with us for our full moon ceremony. It's so different to have this on a virtual platform, but we've innovated, and we've adapted, and we've done all sorts of things that we didn't think that was possible during COVID, and now having this wonderful platform, we're able to reach a lot more people, which is absolutely wonderful. So I loved your talk today, Heather, talking about mother and your children, and being a doula that you are, and raising your children in those traditions. And so I really honor you, as well as being a new, like a newer grandmother. What was it, 14 months?
A 17 months and a 5 months.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, my daughter had babies back to back, and then my grandson's 8 years old. So he
Yes.
has three. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. And what a beautiful talk today with the doulas and yourself. And it really warmed my heart to see so many people on there and just talking. But I'm not going to take up much time, because I know that you ladies have an awful lot more to say. I have a book, and I do have something that maybe I'll read at the end. I think it was really fitting. It's a grandmother's prayer. So
beautiful.
yeah, so I'll go and get it, and I'll come right back.
Okay.
Beautiful. Thank you,
Miigwech.
Sherry. Yes, beautiful. Susan, how are you?
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
I am well, having a very interesting day. I'd like to introduce, this is Laurel Robertson. She's an Odawa elder. I don't remember, Gail, if you met her, She's an Odawa grandmother from Michigan. She
Mm.
was at the gathering that we did with Big Bai and everyone,
Right.
and over here in Nauvoo. And we've been up to see her. And her husband, Art, is here with us as well. He is Blackfoot, and he's down with Brad, with my husband. And nothing is random. We've been saying this for 2 days. Nothing is random. Nothing is random. We've had some experiences. I'm going to let Laurel share, with your permission, anything that comes. But this is all, to me, related to our grandmother Moon.
Mm.
And she, as we know, our waters in our body are pulled by her and moved with her. And we have the same cycle. We follow the cycle together, and all the teachings that we have been blessed with. I know that one of the most beautiful memories for me was the time that I was in New Mexico, and one of the women there from one of the tribes shared how in the moon there's a rabbit, and he's sitting there with his knees up under his chin and his ears flopping. And now whenever I look, that's immediately I see that. I think about all the wonderful stories that there are out rabbits, and how all the animals are affected by the way that the moon is. And I'm not quite sure. Right now we have the big planting is going on for us down here. And we had another grandmother with us, Lois DePrima, was with us earlier today. And I had a bag of potatoes outside, and she said, well, if nobody belongs to those potatoes, I'm taking them because it's the moon time and I'm planting. And she walked out with 2 bags of potatoes of mine plant. So, with our, with that part. So I'm grateful to be here, and I'm not sure exactly what we're doing, but we're wide open and happy to be here to share with you. And so with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass this to Laurel.
Good, Susan.
Thank you.
Well, it's so nice to see you, ladies. At the moment, I'm with a really heavy heart, so I'm finding it hard to. We just were told about 15 minutes ago that my nephew passed away of a heart attack. He was out in the yard wrestling with his son. They were boxing. And he walked up on the porch and just died. And his son's 16, his daughter's 14. So we're having a pretty rough day today, but I'm so glad to be here with you guys. It's a bit of a distraction, thankfully. And I'd love to hear any stories you all can share. Right now, I'm sorry. That's about all I can say right now. But Susan was talking about planning. We left home yesterday. We had snow, and it was snowing out. So it'll be a month or so before we start our planning and our new beginnings. So that's it for the moment.
Oh,
Thank
my
you.
heart goes out to you and your family and your community. And oh my gosh. But for whatever reason, Grandma chose to bring her baby back, tonight. Whatever teaching that is on this full moon, it's very special for the spirit world. Our ancestors, they're there, and they're in their humble way accepting the beautiful gift that has returned back in spirit. And our hearts will take some time adjusting to not being in the presence of this beautiful soul, but it's part of life, and someday it's going to be our turn, whether we're 2, whether we're 200. It's our journey to take, and so our prayers are with you in a strong way.
Yeah, these are things our head knows.
Right.
It's the heart.
Yes. Oh, understood. Oh my goodness, understood. The importance though of one's passing is so individual in how it's received, and the reasons, and all of those things that come with the, well, it's a loss and a gain. So I guess it's that scale that's always tipped, one way or the other. And we know the pain, and it's really hard when we lose our community members. We really have had a struggle here at Six Nations, as well as many other communities. People are just passing like flies left and right, and it's like you can't even remember who passed last month. It's been so like real with the losses in our community. So our beautiful grandmother, she looks down upon us with all the love and that she has in her heart. And tonight she's clear. Um, there's a storm coming in, possibly tonight or tomorrow, or crazy weather. But we have had the opportunity, um, to catch a glimpse. But we do know that she's, very strong, sending very. I look at that fog then, or those clouds as protective energy. So it's like she's protecting us, kind of wrapping her in her blanket in the most beautiful way, and she's sharing this, and she's sharing her love with us. She's saying, I also wrap you in the comfort of my blanket as well. So yeah, this moon, there's a lot of different names for this moon, but we know that this is right in the heart of maple syrup, and the trees have been running, and that sweet water has been there as a way to bring our immunity systems to strengthen our bodies. And it's also a healing medicine. So if you have the opportunity to find some maple syrup or maple sap, you know, take that into your body, and um, that is kind of like a really powerful blessing right now, because it kind of helps you to like breathe and to clean and to clear and to let go. So um, we'll also find a cup, and we'll take it, some for you as well, and for your family, because when you're in that state of mourning, those 10 days are really important times when you don't even know if you've eaten, whether you drank anything, whether it's day, whether it's night. There's a lot of different things that we experience with that loss. So grandma, she reaches her arms out to everyone. And tonight, no matter what our circumstance, we can put our head back and look at the stars or look at the sky, and just feel that real strong blessing that she sends. And the flow is really powerful right now. The flow of the tides, the flow of the waters. Um, if there was a storm, that storm would be very powerful in that it's doing its cleansing work, like we ask, in our prayers on a regular basis. So, yeah, we will have we'll share a couple more stories as we make our rounds here. But yeah, but please accept our condolences and our love that we're sending your way. And Heather, would you like to
Mm,
say a
yeah.
few?
Yeah, there's a lot of beautiful comments in the comments for you. I don't know if you can see them, Susan. Can you see the comments?
We can see them when they pop up. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
beautiful.
that's very
Thank you.
nice. Yeah,
Thank
very
you.
thoughtful. Yeah, I'm so
Nothing is
sorry about
random.
your
She
loss.
was meant to be here.
Yeah.
She was meant.
Mhm,
Thank you.
mhm. Um, I'll just introduce myself. My name is Heather. My spirit name is Mogichawan. As you can see, my spirit name's right on there. And it means forever flowing water. And my clan is Wabajeshi. It's the Martin clan. It's the warrior clan. So I'm a strong warrior Anishinaabe Kwe. I'm also a Medewan Kwe from the Medewan Lodge. I'm first degree Medewan. And so I feel very honored to be here. We had a really beautiful introduction today, earlier in the day. So it just fits so nicely to do this like this evening. So I do have a story. And I know that in our Anishinaabe, um, when we name the grandmother moons as the Anishinaabe calendar and the cycle of the moons, always indicate, and they help us with our planting, like you were talking about, Susan, that grandmother taking all those potatoes, and with harvesting, with hunting, with gathering. That's how closely the that Nokomis is connected to the plant life and to the animal life on Turtle Island. And so the this moon, the sugar moon, is like a condensed in the teachings that I've received to sugar, but it's maple sugar, right? Like you're talking about, Gail, about the maple sugar and its flow. And we call it Ziz Bakdok Gizis, and that's the sugar moon. And the story is of a long time ago. The maple syrup was very abundant. It was thick, and it would just drip from the maple trees. And all you had to do was go break a twig, and then go under the tree and open your mouth, and there would come the maple syrup. And it was all year. It was all year that these maple trees would do this and provide that. And the creator noticed the people, Shemnado noticed the people were getting lazy with this gift that they were receiving. So he sent down his helper, Nana Boju. And Nana Boju was trying to look for the people, and he couldn't find them. They weren't in the village. And so he noticed that they were in the forest, all sleeping under the maple trees, just crashed out. And so he filled the maple trees with much water, and he filled them right up, and so that to help the people to be aware that they will need to wake up, and they will need to make a fire, and they will need to boil the sap until it becomes the syrup, and they will need to work hard for this gift. And and he also helped them to be aware that this will only happen once a year. It won't be like how it was all year. They would have to work hard at that once a year and this month. And so that's how we know it today as being the maple sugar moon. So that was a really awesome story and teaching that I received about the maple sugar moon. And the teaching in that, right, is that we work hard for those gifts, that we have, or in whichever way, those gifts that we have in our life, our children, our grandchildren, our relationships, those things that we have, we work hard to maintain and keep that. So that's one story I was so excited to share. I was like, oh, I know a story of the maple sugar moon. And also just knowing that, when we're experiencing that time, that beautiful cycle, that flow of our moon time that flows through us, and that blood that flows and comes out of us. And during that time, that cleansing time, we're cleansing physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And the moon is taking care of that for us, that grandmother, for us to be able to do that. It's and I know as Nokomis, we may not have our time still. I'm still enjoying my time. I'm still enjoying my grandmother who still visits me. And so, and I'm just really hoping that can last a long time. I know that it won't, but it's kind of changing like already, right? I know it's changing and she's getting ready to, to leave me in that way, to do my work as an Nokomis and leave me in that way. And so I think it's really important to know that when we are having that moon time, and we're very, very sacred at that time. And Jamnado comes closer to us women at that time. He's actually closer to us, and that's why we, because it's so powerful and we're so strong during that time. We are in ceremony, so we don't need to smudge. We don't need to, sing with our drums. We don't need to burn those medicines or gather those medicines. It's a time to relax. It's actually a time where we don't cook and we don't clean. I wish it could be like that. I used to do that long ago. I used to like cook and get everything ready for that week, and tell my partner, it's my time, and I gotta, just be still and think about that good energy, that renewing of my body, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and thinking about my relationships, my children, my family, and how I'm going to make that different in this coming month. And so I was able to do that. It was pretty good. So we know that it's a very, very powerful time. So and in helping our hearts too when we're grieving, very powerful time to, if you're able to go out to visit with her with that moon tonight. For sorry, what's your name, Susan's friend?
Laurel.
Laurel.
Mhm.
Yeah, Laurel. If you're able to go out after we have our, like our gathering, just
Mhm.
to feel that energy from her, that would really help you. Yeah. So, yeah, chimigwech. Miigwech.
Very beautiful, very powerful, very humbling words, Heather. Thank you for
Mm.
sharing that story. You know, it's so interesting to hear stories because you hear like different variations here and there, and
Yeah, yeah.
and it gets better every time you hear it, right? So, Sherry, would you like to say some more?
You know, I never grew up with a lot of my teachings. I'm learning as an older person.
Mhm.
But one thing that my mom would always say is that a visitor is coming to visit you on every month, right? And when I was a younger girl, I was kind of like, well, who would come every month, right?
Just to visit me.
Just to visit me? And it's just one of those things that, because of certain things that she went through as well, and not, and being brought up in a residential school, all that stuff was taken away. But some of the little things that was, that your visitor is coming, be careful, look after yourself, and all the things that you're saying, Heather, as well, that a long time ago we would have been looked after. We would have been able to go into the lodge, and people would have been looking after us. And you're right. Somehow we need to bring that back. Where we can have the time just to ourselves and other women,
Mhm. Yeah.
to be in the same room with other women, because we get such strength from women to even meditate and to go reflect inside, and really get in touch with source, of who your source is and how you're going to shine that light for the following month, like you said.
Mhm.
And it's just so wonderful because like every single month is going to be different. The visitor will bring you something that you absolutely need for that time of healing for yourself, as well as renewal. We were talking, me and my friend were talking about that today, and I haven't had my moon time for probably about 12 years. And it's just been one of those things that, you know, the hot flashes are finally finished. But really being just grateful that I've had that time, that I'm going now into the wisdom time as well. I have my gray hair, you know, I'm not dyeing it any longer, so
It looks really nice.
it was a big switch for me. But it's just, you know, we always say that every single gray hair and every single wrinkle that we have, we deserve it. We worked really hard, and to really embrace it. And, you know, it's wonderful becoming old. It's wonderful becoming older. And, you know, and to know that, you know, our time on the time on this planet as a living human is limited. And there's an awful lot of things that we know that we chose when we chose to come to this realm as well, that we chose to be in this time of crisis, that we chose to know that there is going to be numerous people that we love to cross over the Western doorway. But we choose to do these things. And it was one of those things that when we know that, and that we're placed here by a creator, or that we chose to come here, it really truly is a big gift. A special gift every single day when I wake up, and, you know, and being mentored by, you know, you beautiful ladies, and having new friends, and learning together as women, which is just such a blessing. That, you know, my family's in Saskatchewan, so I really miss my sisters, but, you know, I have my family here, and the women that I meet is along the way as well, that become my sisters, and my cousins. And so I'm really really grateful for all of that, and just knowing that life throws us these curveballs, that they always say. And you know, and it hurts our hearts for an awful long time. But then it's those fleeting moments that, you know, something passes our eye, and we think of that person that has gone to the spirit world. And, you know, and it's just, they're always here with us. They're standing behind us all the time and holding us up.
Very beautiful.
Yeah. Chimiguacha is very beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes.
Boy, for you at home, you know, just listening to, like, oh, every time someone speaks, it's just like so, like, inspiring. And I hope you're feeling it, because boy, I'm sure feeling it, and I'm just and I'm here on this. I'm here, you know. So Susan and Laura.
Thank you. And thank you for inviting us to be here at this time, because, as I said when I started to speak, there is nothing random. There is nothing that Creator isn't aware of before, you know, because there is no time on the other side. And so for Laurel to be here now in this circle, as well as everyone else who shared their thoughts and feelings about what they're going through too, this is the grandmother circle, and this is the power of it. And this is what Grandmother Moon is teaching us. You know, this connection that we have with one another, with the 28 days cycle, and, you know, all of that, this puts us in a place where we can understand everything that we have with each other. There's an empathy that transcends all else, because we share that water. And I know Gail and I have done those water ceremonies all over the world with women, and yet it's the same water. And as we, in Hawaii, it's our ha, our breath. As we mingle that with the water, we're connecting in with Grandmother Moon, because she has all the powers over the water. You know, the waters ebb and they flow with her, with those cycles, you know. And as we connect into that, it's like today when the news first came about their nephew, and I hope Laurel doesn't mind my sharing this, I watched her husband's pain. I could see it. It was tangible. But before I could say or do anything, our cat, who's a mother, came right over off the couch and went and sat beside his feet, letting him know that he's not alone, he's sharing. But it's the mother in her, like the grandmother in the moon. It's that mothering that we have, that we can transcend. I know my favorite thing with Sundance, is to help the grandmothers build the Moon Lodge, where we can sit there. And I remember when I first started sharing moon teachings as I was given them, I had a young girl down at Gila River, a Pima girl, an Akamarotham girl, came to me and she said, do Indian women go through menopause? And I said, yes, we do. And she said, but my mother never told me. She never told me about this. And it's so true, isn't it? Just like what you're saying about the visitor coming. You know, how do we actually explain all that when really it's a way of knowing? So the first thing that I realized that teaching was when I attended a funeral on the reservation. And I went there and I had been used to non-native funerals. But here in this house, there were some people in the kitchen cooking. The men were outside talking. The widow was sitting alone on the couch beside the coffin. And people would just come one at a time and sit beside her and never say a word. Not, oh, I'm so sorry. Not try to make it easier, not try to make it better, not try to give an explanation, but just to sit beside. And so here now, as we're all sitting in this circle together, this is the power of this moon time, isn't it? This 3-day period of the fullness of the moon. We're all here together. And I love that advice to go out into the moonlight tonight. And when we're lying in bed, if we are fortunate enough to have the moon shine on us, powerful that is, isn't it? It's like, there are no words to explain. I believe that in many ways our relationship with the moon is without words, but we can find it in the water and we can find it in our breath. And I love what was said, that we don't need to burn the medicines. We don't need to use our drum. We don't need to do those things. We simply need to be in that oneness with the grandmother moon. So I love being with you. I love being able to share, because that's the feeling that this circle brings us. So I'm grateful that Laurel was here. It's a long drive from her house to my house, but she was meant to be here now to receive this news and sit in the circle with grandmothers. So thank you all of you.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, and it's also a time like just her coming to visit with her partner, even that comfort that he received from the animal, like animals know and they can feel, right? Like they know when we're have these intense emotions and they come by us. So he received that comfort on his feet. Very nice. Yeah.
She laid across his feet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, Susan has a lot of animals. Like the first time I went to see Susan, there she was out feeding her geese and her dogs and her cats and all of her.
Oh, that's good.
You're
Yeah.
the first person I know that has geese, and then she transported them when she moved all the way, east. And I was going, wow, that's she lives such an interesting life, that Susan. I love her so much. Um,
You got to get some rabbits, Susan.
Well, we have 3 coming. We have
Yeah.
peacocks. Gail has yet to meet the peacocks. You must come down. We have an emu who is like named Mississippi. And when I first got her, she was a rescue. She's 22 now. When I first got her, I also had rescued a little baby mini burro I named him Burrito. I said, Burrito, if you're a good boy in spring, I will get you a Taco Bell and you can have little enchiladas. But that winter, my Mississippi laid her first egg at 20 years old. And I called an emu farm and he said, well, she's in love. He said, it's breeding time. And I said, but there's not another emu for I don't know how many miles. She was in love with Burrito. So Burrito in Mississippi. However, this year, now in another month,
So
Mississippi is
funny.
supposed to go to Southern Illinois and marry an emu named Uno. And the
Oh,
family has already begun to make him a tuxedo for the
oh
wedding. But
my
I
God.
can't bring myself to separate her from Burrito.
Yeah,
So
and I don't.
I can't
Should
imagine.
you? Yeah, and should you?
Yeah, exactly. It's love. It's true love. So I think she's gonna stay. We've talked about it. I think she needs to
Yeah,
stay with burritos.
yeah.
The heart knows what the heart knows.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we're sorry, Uno, but
Yeah,
love
it's
is
gonna be
love.
burrito, Uno.
I could share more stories about time spent at Susan's because I was there and I saw things. I go, I didn't know that, how animals mate and things they do. I was going, I was just kind of looking like, where am I? My husband always with dogs and cats aren't always with cats. I found that out.
And you're all invited. Please, you're all invited to come
Oh, that
anytime.
would be
Let me
nice.
know. I'll put new
Mm.
sheets on the beds and you guys can down and Laurel wants me to share about Cookie. Cookie, we received Cookie. She came to us in kind of an interesting way. She's a little rat terrier. And my friend was crossing the bridge from Iowa to Illinois and saw a man standing there with a child getting ready to throw this little dog off the bridge into the river. So he stopped on the bridge. He ran over. He said, I'll take the dog. And he promised the child that the dog would always be safe and happy. And you could see that he said the child. So he ended up bringing her to me. We adopted her. She came. She's never had babies, but when you look at her, she looks like she has, that mother dog thing with their belly.
Mhm.
Because she has raised 3 litters of kittens who lost their mommies, and her milk comes in. And she nurses these little kittens and raises them. And so
It's
I
weird.
believe it. I believe it.
Gail is right. We crossed some strange lines here.
Yeah.
No one knows anything about who they are. We all know it's love, 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 love.
Anything is possible.
Wow. So your cookies is a wet nurse for baby kittens.
Kittens.
Wow, that is phenomenal.
Come to our house. You're always welcome.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
bet you
my.
National Geographic is listening to us right now. Going, I'm going to this farm.
I went in with Laurel today to the fudge factory in our town, and there was a girl working there, and I met her because years ago she brought me over a little baby duck. She had heard that I could save it, and so she brought me the duck, and we did, and I ended up putting it in the river when it was big, and it swam off. So that's the way life is, isn't it? We never know. We never know. And
Yeah.
that's her husband gave me a beautiful teaching today that is the way. It is the way. We don't stop the way. We don't leave the way. The way doesn't leave us. We are in that way. So it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes, love always wins. I love that. Yes. Thank you.
So true, Dawn. So true.
Yes, I have, my daughter, I have 3 daughters and 2 sons and 15 grandchildren, and my next child is due anytime. So we're looking at the moon now because if it's a girl, my 3 daughters came on the full moon, and my sons come 3 days after the moon.
Wow.
And so we're anticipating, that
It'll be a little girl.
yeah. Well, no, I think it's a boy. The way she carries and everything, I'm quite sure that I'm getting another grandson. But everything is going good, they're healthy and we're just anticipating that. But I just remember the very first time that my daughter was born on that full moon. And I remember after she was born, I just looked at her eyes and it was like you could see the stars and you could see the universe through her eyes. And And it was at that time, that we have our greatest experiences. And yeah, it was such a powerful time of beauty and connection, and most certainly love, you know. And each child, each grandchild comes, it's more love to share,
Mhm.
more love
Yeah.
to share. Even through
Yeah.
those trying times, it's love that
Yeah.
brings and holds and keeps
Yeah.
the family together.
Yeah.
And so I was listening when you were talking about friends, friends coming, and it's been a long time since I've had my friend. And I remember as that was happening, as my friend was leaving, I kind of felt sad. It was an emotional time in a way, not symptom wise, but just emotional wise, because it was
Oh
like
yeah.
I really miss the energy of the time,
Mhm. Mhm.
and so it got me thinking. I said, your time is like your life. You have that time before your time when you're innocent and you're young and you're connected to a spirit world, and there's so many things that are so beautiful about your life. And then you become that woman. So you
Yeah.
go through those years, and you go through all of the trials and tribulations of learning and connecting, and all of those things that you have to learn. And then your friend leaves, and it's kind of like it's that time, and it's like death. It's kind of like the beginning, the middle, and you have to learn how to live without your friend, and
Mhm.
so you
Mhm.
get over it. So that's, I think,
Mhm.
your friend is a way to help you learn how to grieve as well. So yeah, I mean, I don't know where these things come from sometimes. All of a sudden they're just bam. I hope the way it is, and I
Yeah.
think that's what's beautiful about our culture, and about and all cultures of the world. It's the stories, it's the sharing that creates, I guess, the sharing creates the sharing. And the
Mhm.
more you think about it, the more you say, hey, I can understand that, I can relate to that. And so there's such a beauty, in life, no matter what stage of life you're at. And I always look at perception. If you're going through a tough time, it's time to change your perception. And so,
Mhm.
out of all the work that is done, it's simply a time when you're not looking down. You finally lift your eyes to the sky and you start to look up, because then you feel that beautiful energy that comes from the celestial beings, comes from the grandma, comes from brother sun. Everything seems to work once you can raise your eyes, raise your head, because when you have your head down, it's where we keep in our grief, and it keeps that trauma. But as we lift and raise our eyes, we seem to find something that we didn't know that we were missing. And that's where the beauty is. The beauty is in all of these new experiences. So as grandma comes every month, sometimes she's so big in the sky. It's like you could just literally go touch
Mhm.
her. She
Mhm.
is so big in the sky. And
Mhm.
then sometimes she's just like a little ball, still powerful, still beautiful, but just a little ball. And sometimes she hides herself. She hides herself. Mm, not tonight, peeps. My grandma needs her time too. So grandmas are all about beautiful emotion, beautiful, beautiful energy, and she also takes us through that those stages that we need to experience and that we need to go. And I hear yet another siren. Like I'm right on the main strip of Six Nations here, and every time those fire trucks go out, almost it's like, wow! And they've been going out like crazy tonight. It's you
Like
could.
New York City, eh? Right on the
Really?
res. I
Yeah,
said it's
you're in the
like New
city of
York City, right on the res.
yeah. Well, Six Nations happens to have like over 17,000 people living
Yeah.
within our community. So it's a big community. And even though you don't know the younger people, you certainly know their mothers, and you certainly know their
Yeah. All
grandmothers.
connected. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you find out that you're related to, like, wow, I didn't know I had these relatives here and these relatives
Yeah.
here.
And then when you're younger, you always have to make sure there's someone that you really like, that he's not your cousin.
You find out later that
You're like, darn.
and you can't even go to another resident in our territory because
Yeah,
water
you're
did
like,
that, you know.
yeah. How am I gonna find someone? Yeah, exactly. I received a very beautiful it's a calendar. It's a Ni Hayan Pismi, so I don't know what dialect that is. And then it says Anishinaabe Gizis, full moon calendar. And I'm just gonna show it to you. I don't know if you could see it very well. It's
Oh, beautiful.
really, yeah, it's very awesome because it has like the new moon, so it has all the moons of the whole year from January to December. And it has new moon and then the first quarter moon waxing, how it's like getting bigger and bigger, and then it has full moon. So it has big spirit moon or elder moon for the January moon, because I know we have in different nations, we call our Nokomis different names for the hunting, harvesting, planting, whatever's happening, and that connection of the moon for that month. And then there's the third quarter waxing, what you were talking about, Gail, how she gets really small and she like just hides away. So that's the third quarter waxing where she just, and then it goes back into the new moon. So it would be really awesome if somehow we could share this. I don't with others, and I work at an Indigenous vaccine clinic in Toronto. I'm a nurse, and I work for Toronto Public Health. And so as I'm helping with COVID, I've been able to work in, and it's called the Doje Mino Wisananing, and it's place of healthy breathing. That's what it is in Ojibwe. And it was a midwife who gave this to all the staff. Yeah, they gave it to all the staff. I'll try to like bring it closer. So, and then there's the full moons, the names of all the full moons. And so I've been really like watching it and watching that grandmother. So it's a really nice like calendar to have. Because then you're aware of the days, like the 2 days before, the 2 days after, where you could celebrate too, right? With grandmother. So I just thought I would share that. It's a really beautiful calendar. And I her name's Cheryl Lee. I'm not sure if that's the actual midwife that gave it to the staff, but on the bottom of it says it's to nurture our relationship with the one grandparent we all share. That grandmother. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, that one grandparent we all share. So beautiful. Like as women, right? As women. I know we do honor that Mishomis, that Jesus, that son, that grandfather, or that brother, son, because that grandmother and that grandfather work totally together. That male and female energy of those beautiful spirits work together. So we actually, yeah, we have two grandparents, I guess, depending on what nation you're from, right? What your teachings are, but yeah. So
There's a company called Pass the Feather,
Mhm.
and Gail has a calendar right behind her, with all
Okay.
with all the full moon and things like
Oh,
that. And
yes.
it's such a gorgeous stories because every month they tell you different
Yeah,
stories, right?
like a
And it's
little blurb of each of the moons. Yeah,
mhm,
yeah,
mhm.
very nice.
Yeah, just beautiful, and it's so nice to see that resurgence too, right? Of things that was taken away or underground, but
Mhm.
now that it's brought out and that
Yeah,
we
and
can
people are
celebrate.
sharing it and
Mhm,
giving it, and yeah,
mhm,
because I
mhm.
thought that was such a nice to receive that at work. It's like, oh, this
Yes.
is so nice.
Yeah,
The
and it
way,
makes you feel like that you're seen, right? Like that this
yeah,
is important, and it's weaving into our work
yeah,
environment, which is so nice. That's just
yeah.
beautiful. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing.
Mhm.
Mhm. Mhm.
Well,
Well,
how was your time?
I'm wondering if I can read this prayer right now.
Yes, yeah, please.
It's from the Sacred Smoke. It's called,
Yeah.
and it's called Women's Prayer. And so I think that it's quite fitting.
Mm.
And it says, "Grandmothers, we stand before you. Behold us. Powers of the East, behold us. First quarter moon, behold us. Plant people who gift us colored dyes, behold us.
Mm.
Rainbow women inspire us as we learn to express outward. Pine smudge, purify us as we begin our journey. Daughters, we stand before you, behold us. Powers of the South, behold us. Full moon, behold us.
Mm.
Plant people who gift us food, behold us. Corn women, nurture us as we learn to nurture outward. Mullen smudge, protect us as we continue our journey. Granddaughters, we stand before you, behold us. Prayers of the West, behold us. Last quarter moon, behold us. Plant people who gift us visions, behold us. Crazy women inspire us as we learn to express inward. Mugwort smudge, guide us as we continue our journey. Sisters, we stand before you, behold us. Powers of the North, behold us. New moon, behold us. Plant people who gift us caution, behold us. Death women who nurture us as we nurture inward. Cedar smudge, consecrate our hearts as we complete our journey.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh,
That's very beautiful.
oh my gosh. Is
Oh, that's
everybody
so
full yet?
nice.
Yeah.
Wow. I love how they discuss all the different medicines that you can burn to for that help. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's really amazing. Who wrote that poem? Like,
Her name is Harvest McCampbell, and I believe she is Onondaga.
mm,
Wow.
yeah, that's very beautiful. Yeah, because there was some medicines there that I haven't heard of, or I've heard of, but just like not too much.
Mhm.
So yeah, wow. Chimiquach
Mm.
is really nice.
Yeah. Well, it looks like our time is coming to a close already. Again, this was a very, very quick hour.
Yeah.
Believe how time has flown. So it's important to do like just a little bit of a closing, and the closing has to do with a, letting the ancestors know. I mean, they're all gathered and they're all engaged in and what we're sharing, and it's just time to give thanks to all of those who have come and allow them to do their work back in the spirit world. And it also helps us to disconnect as well, because as we disconnect, then we can take all these beautiful things that we've heard and we can let them work within us and through us. And as that happens, we can connect, but we can also get back to um, whatever it is that we're doing. So in closing, it's simply a matter of for us, it's we say nyawa or thank you, because as soon as we release and let go, then they're already doing their spirit work. So I know it was having a we had a lot of different nations here tonight, which was really wonderful. Um, of course, as we go about our evening, we also ask that if you've traveled, that you have a safe journey home, and that and we pray for Laurel, and we send our condolences and we send our prayers to Laurel and
Mhm.
to all of those. I was looking at some of the comments, and we all have others that are grieving as well. So we send all our love to all of those who need it. So Nyawa for everyone being here tonight, and we'll see you next full moon. Who knows what we're going to be talking
Sucker
about?
moon. Miigwech.
Yeah.
Good night, everyone.
Yeah.
Aloha, Tekla. Aloha.
Aloha.
Mhm. And join us if you can join us too on Tuesday, March 22nd, where
Mhm.
Grandmother's Voice will be hosting Moses Ledham, and we'll be painting the sucker moon. So I think it's on Grandmother's Voice website. So just check it out, and Jody's always really good at putting posters out on Facebook and things like that. So
Okay. It's not a link though, like is
no,
it?
just live. Just join
Yeah?
live at 6
Okay.
o'clock, I think, from 6
Yeah.
until 8.
Okay.
And then he'll take us step by step to make this beautiful painting of the sucker moon. It's lots of fun, Heather.
Grandmother's
I've done it.
Awesome.
Or
Yeah, I'd love
YouTube
to do
Grandmother's
that.
Voice.
Okay, so I
Okay.
just go on the site and I can just I'll be live right there. I don't have to
Yeah.
link to anything.
No, nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
See you.
Good night,
Bye,
everyone.
Lauren.
Yeah.
Take care, Lauren.
Yeah.
Bye, Susan. See
Good
you.
night.
Gail.
Thank you
bye.
for everybody. Thank you to everyone.
Yeah.